Welcome everyone. In this video, I'll show you how to schedule flights using SkyMate. As you can see on the dashboard, there are currently no active flights for this week, so the first step is to generate a new schedule. Before we do that, it's important to confirm your home base. In my case, it's set to Ramona, California. Now, let's jump into the scheduler. The first thing we'll do is define the schedule parameters. Here, you'll find several options to customize your weekly flights. The first thing to do is the number of flights. You can choose anywhere between 3 and 10. For this example, I'll go with 6. Next, the flight length. Short, medium, long, or mixed. I'll keep it on mixed. And then we have the schedule mode. This is the most important setting. You can choose between round trips and continuous trips. With round trips, each flight departs from and returns to your home base. Let's start with that. You'll also notice the different mission types. More of these unlock as you level up, but at level 1 you already have a few available. I'll keep all of them selected for now. Alright, let's generate our first schedule. Just click on Generate Flight Schedule and the AI engine will start building your plan. This can take a few seconds since the application is calculating routes, distances, and generating a dynamic context for each flight based on your preferences. And here we go. The application has generated our first schedule. As you can see, the first flight is from Ramona to Yuma International Airport. This is a cargo mission covering 119 nautical miles. You also get a full breakdown of the flight, including the estimated time, based on a Cessna 172, the departure time, payment, experience, and arrival details. Now, if you're flying a faster aircraft, you'll likely complete the flight sooner, but you'll still receive the same payment and experience. Remember that the application does not restrict you to fly the aircraft of your preference. Let's take a look now at the second flight, which brings us back from Yuma to Ramona. You'll also notice how the schedule is structured. The first 2 flights are medium distance, the next 2 are long, and the final 2 are short. You can see here that one of the flights takes us to Desert Rock Airport and another to Bermuda Dunes. Personally, these are places I had never even heard of before, and now I get to explore them as part of this schedule. However, if this schedule doesn't quite work for you, you can always generate a new one. So let's go ahead and before accepting the schedule, let's generate a new one with different parameters. For this example, I'm going to change the number of flights to 10. Keep the length set to mixed and switch to continuous trips. With this mode, flights are changed across multiple airports before eventually returning to your home base. You'll also notice the legs before return setting. This defines how many flights are included in each chain before heading back to your home base. You can choose between 3, 4, or 5 legs. For this example, I'll go with 5. Now, since we have 10 flights and 5 legs per chain, this will generate 2 full sequences before returning to base. So let's go ahead and generate the schedule and see how it looks. Let's give it a moment while the AI engine does its magic and builds out the full schedule. Please consider that this schedule is more complex because it is computing distances and the best route for you to accomplish the number of legs before returning home. Alright, here we go. We now have two complete flight chains. Let's look at the first one. We depart from Ramona and head into San Diego International, which is actually a pretty interesting challenge for a VFR flight given the surrounding airspace. From there, we continue to McClellan Palomar, and the next flight is going to be to El Centro and then up to Whiteman before finally returning to Ramona. That completes our first 5-leg journey. If you look at the second chain, you'll see the same logic, but with entirely different airports and a mix of flight distances. And this is where the experience really comes to life. You're not just flying point to point, you're exploring. In this case, the route even took us into Mexico, meaning you're actually moving across regions and countries. And that's what makes a SkyMate different. It gives real purpose and progression to your VFR flying. And while I was explaining this, I also generated another schedule with slightly different parameters. This time using 4 legs instead of 5. But overall, this gives you a good sense of how dynamic and flexible the AI scheduler is. Once you find a schedule you like, just click Accept Schedule. From that point on, you're committing to it, so you won't be able to generate a new one. That said, you can still skip individual flights if needed, at a cost of 500 in-app credits, which are pretty easy to obtain based on the application economics. Alright, so that's it for the SkyMate's scheduler. I hope you enjoyed this and that it helps bring real purpose to your VFR flights. Thanks for watching and happy flying!